Hello, welcome back to Value Investor Bro. As the name suggests, yes, I'm a value investor. I like to share with you the research that I have done before I buy a company. This video will be slightly different from the other videos because after doing my research, I decided not to buy this company. The company in question is Tesla. But before I start and explain why, I'd like to say that this video is only intended for entertainment or educational purposes. It's not financial advice. Please do not buy or sell this stock based on my video. Of course, you need to do your own research in the same way that I did. The idea really of these videos is just to share some of the research I do so that it will give you ideas if you're also a value investor. I'm sure that you're aware of this company, but if you want to find out more, you can stop the video here. What is the big deal about this company? First mover advantage. When you think of electric vehicles in the consumer market, you will think of this brand because they were the first ones that had this. Focus on innovation and technology. They like to talk about their robotic factories, which help them to churn out a lot of vehicles. They also manage to get very good efficiency from the factories through the technology they use. Um, they built the first ever vehicle that needs software updates, and that these updates they can actually bring new features and improve the cars. I would say they have a very strong brand image. I'm not sure that I've seen a mainstream brand of cars have such fanatical owners. But I think if you are a investor in Tesla, this is something that is a positive. They have the best electric vehicle infrastructure. So that basically means they have a very good network of chargers. They like to have everything under one roof. They have a factory for making their own batteries, for example, although I believe that the cells are coming from Panasonic. They also own their own dealerships and, like I said earlier, the charging network. So they are trying to keep everything, or as much as they can, under one roof, which will help again with the efficiency and the margins, I would say. They've also expanded into other energy products, such as the solar roof product. They also have the self-driving software, which they say in the potential that it could be used in a cyber taxi, and they could basically have the ability to license this out, and that could be worth a lot of money. Their self-driving is unique from a lot of other versions because they are not using lidar. They are using only the cameras on the vehicles. So the management, I'm sure you've all heard of Elon Musk. I don't think he really needs introduction. He obviously owns a lot of shares in this company. Um, the chief financial officer, he is a new hire this year, although he did start in the company in 2017. Before that, he worked in PwC and Solar City. He owns also quite a lot of shares, as does the vice president, who has been an engineer with Tesla since 2006, pretty much after he came out of university. Um, I would say that the management seems okay, but I would say personally, I am not a big fan of Elon Musk. So yeah, and we will talk about that more later. red flag. So I didn't buy this particular company from the research that I did. So this will be slightly different from the other videos I've made where I did buy into the company. And these are some of the red flags that I found. I think it's fairly well known that the quality of the Tesla vehicles is not very good. There's a lot of reports of really bad panel gaps and other things. I personally see the involvement of Elon Musk as a negative. I think he over inflates the truth about what Tesla are able to do, and I would see his involvement as a negative. You can also see the Twitter, what he has done with Twitter and the recent outburst on the advertising um, situation over there. That doesn't really give me a lot of confidence with how he would also lead Tesla. And when I am talking about his outlandish, well, maybe it's not outlandish, but his over inflation of the truth, he has, well, they release or they introduce many vehicles and say that they will be produced on this day, and they just don't seem to appear, and then they are releasing more and more vehicles. I believe they talked about the truck, the semi truck in 2017, and they said there that it would come out in 2019. We haven't really heard anything recently. The Roadster, the new version of the Roadster, the same thing happened. They had a big press release and all of that, and we haven't heard anything about that. So it's like, I don't really like the way that they have all these new vehicle releases. I don't always really trust what Elon Musk is saying, and like I said, I believe that he's over inflating the truth. Um, then also a massive thing is basically the competition is now starting to catch up with Tesla. So when we talk about the electric vehicles, for quite a while, as the first mover in this area, Tesla had a massive advantage. But I believe they're now, the competition is now starting to catch up. We're even seeing in China, BYD are taking a lot of the electric vehicle sales away from Tesla, and other vehicle manufacturers, they are they are now releasing vehicles that are on a par with Tesla. A big thing is that Toyota, they said that they're going to have solid state batteries in the next few years. These will have massive implications for the electric vehicle market. The range of vehicles that have this will be way higher than the other batteries, and I believe that Tesla haven't really gone down this route. Maybe in the future they could buy the technology from someone else, but for me this is a massive red flag that they haven't openly said that they're working on solid state batteries. And actually, in a recent interview with Elon Musk, when he was asked about the range of his vehicles and whether the battery technology was going to be improved again, he was very evasive in his answer, and he basically said that he believes that the current range of the Tesla vehicles is more than enough for most people out there. So he was kind of implicating that they don't need to increase the range of the battery. But in my opinion, if Toyota were able to come out with a electric vehicle with a much higher range, surely that would be way more attractive, because even if you don't need that range, it's the peace of mind that the battery is not going to run out as fast. The other big red flag for me is that uh, it seems like that people think self-driving and the robo taxi thing is going to be around fairly soon, but in my opinion, I think it's ways away. Firstly, I don't think the Tesla self-driving application is as good as Elon Musk likes to say that it is. And even if it is, I think there's a massive barrier out there, red tape, legal barrier. I don't think it's going to be easy for any company like to get approved to be able to run self-driving taxis for a very long time, and it would have to be that there's a person sat in the driving seat. Even if they aren't actually physically driving the vehicle, they would have to be there all of the time, which surely then would take away a lot of the cost savings. So for me, this is not the home run that a lot of other people seem to think it is. So, yeah, so for me, yes, I believe that there is a massive potential in Tesla. The reason that I haven't invested is, firstly, I am not really keen in owning a company that's run by Elon Musk, and it's a personal thing, and I would encourage you to do your own research into him and into claims he has made in the past, and you should form your own opinion of him in the same way I have. Like I said earlier, the self-driving robo taxi, I don't think that's a given. I think there's still lots of things in the way of that, and I don't think it's a given that Tesla will be a winner in this area. And the competition, I think, is hotting up, and I think that's going to have a really big impact on Tesla in the future. So now I'm going to show you on a platform that I like to use. I think this is a really good platform for value investors. If you're interested in this platform, I'll leave a link in the description. And I always use this platform in all my videos, and this is a platform that I use on a daily basis. So actually the score here, so this major score here out of 100 is high. So this will basically tell you that the financial underlying metrics are good. They're not amazing, but they're still really good. You can see all of these areas here are either moderate or good. When we also look at the financials, you can see that all of these charts are going up in a good way, which that's a good thing. And I certainly think that for a company that hasn't been around that long, the financial side of things does seem really good. The earnings, when we look at the earnings, they had a red recently, but other than that, on the whole, again, for a company that hasn't been around that long, they have a lot of green here. And you have to go quite far back to start seeing more red, right? But I think, like I said, for a company that hasn't been around that long, I think it's amazing the kind of financial results that they have shown. So it isn't really for the financial reason why I haven't invested in this company. Like I said earlier, these are the main reasons why, even though the financial side of the business seems really good, I basically think at some point this is a business that's going to be revalued in a negative way when people realize that You know, it's hard for them to make electric vehicles. The self-driving isn't as good as people think it's going to be. Competition is hotting up, and from a personal side, I don't really like Elon Musk.